Pastor Imelda. I also have a catechist called Nyangoma Caroline. Nyangoma Caroline, who is presiding over in Catholic Church. Even in Protestants or Anglicans, we see women presiding over worship, which was not the case in the early church. We also look at another point. Baptism in the early church was by immersion. Immersion into water. While today, in most churches, most especially Catholics and Anglican, it is done by sprinkling. Sprinkling of water on the forehead. When we look at the early church, how the worship was carried out, much as we said it was done on Sundays. But you look at it here in the early church, they had only Sunday whereby worship was done. Sunday only. While today, we have many days of worshiping God. Many days of worshiping God. Almost from Monday to Sunday, people are worshiping God. Some have even got the program. On Monday we are having this activity. On Tuesday we shall be having this activity. On Wednesday we shall be having this one. The whole week is fixed up, which was not the case in the early church. They had only Sundays. We also look at another difference. Worship was presided in places like, or conducted in places like trees, under the tree, places, Iggy, under the tree, people's homes, while today we have special places, where worship, is carried out. That is at the church. So you have seen, in the early church, they used to worship God under the trees in people's homes. Today, people will have to move. It is only on special and rare cases whereby people can carry out worship in homes. But it is very rare. Maybe when they have just programmed it. Not only that, we also look at worship today. People worship using modern modern instruments like guitar, piano, while in the early church they used only local instruments. E.g., drums, shakers. Look at the difference between. Also, in the early church, they could use only Greek language. Worship was presided in Greek language, while today we use both international and local language, like English, Lunyoro, Alur, etc. Here it was in Greek language only, while here it is in English. Particular regions are using their own, and even the Bible is translated in these local languages, which was not the case in the early church. We also look at the early church. They could read only in OT, that is Old Testament scriptures. While in modern churches, we are using both. We are using both Old Testament and New Testament scriptures are being read. Not only that, we still have so many the religious leaders in the early church who could preside over were being inspired by the Holy Spirit. While in the modern churches, they are being trained. Some even don't train themselves, but they just forge the life. Forge the life. And become leaders. So in the also early church, the use of spiritual language. The use of spiritual language was common. E.g., speaking in tongues. While today, people just forge. They forge to speak in tongues. Yet here, each and every worship, they could use tongues. Today it is controversial. People just forge. So prayer was also conducted today's prayers are written down. Prayers are written down. While here we may use the word spontaneous. The prayers being spontaneous, today prayers are written down. So when you look at these kind of differences, they are not only this one, but they are many.